Good morning. It's 5:25 Central Standard Time. It is now 3:25 Pacific Time, and of course 6:25 Eastern Time. We are still 25 minutes away from launching the actual start to the show. We do live every morning. Things you might have heard. 5:50 start time for that Central Time. But because I'm still in the prep stages, I want to make sure I got something in officially for what's happening right now. Because obviously we don't post things until they get a story to react to. We don't have that capacity the way it works for our headlines at this very moment, about 5 6 minutes ago, maybe a few minutes earlier, the police officers in Los Angeles began the work to tear down the protest camp at UCLA. Now, this has been a tense situation as this camp's been there for about a week. The campers, we'll say campers for all practical purposes, the protesters in the camp have said they're going to stay there until the university divests itself of um, any companies that it works with for an Israeli cause, any Israeli-backed companies. The university said flat out, that's not happening, and you guys are trespassing, so disperse. Yesterday, there were some issues where pro-Israeli um, protesters came in and started clashing with some of the folks in this protest camp. And the governor and the mayor were really hot on the fact that there was a lack of police presence because the UCLA, the campus, has asked for less police presence to try to clear things out and bring down the temperature. At this point in time, police riot gear on Central or California state police are essentially doing the work and they're tearing down the barriers, taking things down, and walking in, going forward. This is just a still picture that from about 5 10 minutes ago at this point from CNN. I keep that on while I'm doing my prep work here, and I'll go back to that in just a moment. We'll only stay on the air for about 3 4 minutes total, but I want to put something officially in the record that we are keeping an eye on it. We are covering it. We went to bed last night knowing that the tensions were rising across many states and many universities as arrests were up and the encampments were coming down. We came up this morning with a knowledge of another bit of a mini scuffle last night and a big police presence by California police this morning, into this morning, and last night there. And now, as it's about 3 in the morning, 3:30 in the morning, almost there in UCLA in Los Angeles, police are starting to tear down these walls and go into the encampments and do what they need to do. This will be arrests. They've given them ample time to disperse. The biggest issue is last night, instead of people leaving after midnight because of it's midnight, more people came in, so it's a larger crowd of folks because they were expecting what's happening. So stay tuned into your local news source because everyone will be covering this for quite some time. It will be a big deal going forward. And there's really not much we can do but put something in the record here. We still have 20 minutes left to prep for the actual things you might have heard. We will talk about the Columbia University tear down of their protest that actually took over an actual building. We'll have that in because we had reaction to that story yesterday, but we won't have this yet. We'll bring up slightly as we're covering it or we're watching it. We're going to wait a little while until some actual news reporting can be published by it. Things that are viable, things that are something that you can really get into, things that won't be changing every 10 minutes because it's live updating. And then we'll definitely put it in the feeds, and we'll more than likely be talking about this as a top story. If not for just tomorrow, Friday, the unrest that's happening with the protest, anti-war, pro-Palestine, pro-Israel, however we want to slate it, we're going to have it covered. So thank you so much for tuning in with me, popping in live to see what's going on because it's what's going on. Tune into your local news source now and check out more on this one. And be ready in about 20 minutes. As I said, it's live. When we produce this live, if you see this later on, then it's not 20 minutes. In 20 minutes, live time, we'll be start launching the live version of things you might have heard for Thursday with many news stories, including Donald Trump going back in the campaign trail, but saying some January 6th stuff that might be interesting, and Dan Snyder more or less trying to speak back into the allegations coming his way. Thank you for being a part of the family. Much love to you. Stay limber, stay hydrated, stay on task, and see you in 20 minutes.